Tons to see and do when in the Keys, so history buffs need to get organized. Our first stop is for a bit of literary history. Famous American author Ernest Hemingway was a Keys lover and lived right on Whitehead Street, Key West.
Hi, I'm Dave Gonzalez, and I am the events director here at the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum in Key West, Florida. Ernest Hemingway was probably the most prolific writer of the 20th century. He wrote such famous novels as The Old Man and the Sea, To Have and to Have Not, and A Farewell to Arms. He was very much criticized for his short, concise writing, lack of pronouns and adverbs, but it led your imagination to interpret his writings into something very personal. The Ernest Hemingway Home here in Key West is where he lived from 1931 to 1939. Though it was a brief 9-year period, he wrote 70% of his lifetime works in that 9 years. He came here in 1928, went on a couple fishing trips and fell in love with Key West and the fishing opportunities here, moved back here in 1931 and stayed as a permanent residence until 1939 or 40.
The Hemingway Home is a hot attraction in Key West. Its original owner is also a wealthy local celebrity. Asia Tift was the most famous and original shipwreck hunter of the 1800s. In fact, he's so old school that it was called salvaging back then. His most famous finds can be seen at the Shipwreck Museum just blocks away.
About 150 species of plants and trees and flowers on the property, and of course, our 44 polydactyl six-toed cats. So the six-toed cats were called Gypsy Cats, and there was a folklore legend about them that they brought ship's captains calm seas, prevailing winds, and safe passages on their journeys. Hemingway, being a storyteller long before he became a story writer, enjoyed the folklore legend about these cats and thought, I'd like to have one of those Gypsy Cats. One cat leads to another. There's now 44 direct descendants of the original clan on the property today.
While Hemingway was away reporting on the Spanish Civil War, his wife, Pauline, was busy spending his money making renovations.
The pool is a feat in itself. It's 25 feet wide and 60 feet long. It was the single largest residential pool in all of South Florida when first installed. In 1931, they only paid $7,000 for the home. In 1937, 6 years later, Pauline spent $20,000 on the pool. When he heard this, he pulled a penny out of his pocket and said, Pauline, if you're going to spend our money that recklessly, you might as well take my last penny right now. He threw it at her feet. She embedded it in the wet cement at the center column in front of the pool where it still rests today. She showed that penny off quite frequently.